All right, welcome everyone to the quarterfinal round of the hanreplays.org. I believe this is the fourth tournament. As you can see, we have T7H versus x6. These guys play against each other a lot, and what I mean by a lot, I'm talking 4 or 5 scrims a night a lot. I'm actually friends with Nonvidius, and they play against x6 a whole bunch, so both teams coming into this knowing each other's strengths, knowing each other's weaknesses. You know, you're not going to necessarily see a straight up game here. You're probably going to see something a bit more catered to their opponents. For instance, I know, yet again, I was talking with T7H, and their generic bans that they like to use, obviously it changes depending on your strat, but their bans are actually going here to be designed to counter what x6 usually likes to run. For instance, the Ophelia ban right there. You'll probably see, what were they saying they were going to ban? I don't know, we'll see. Anyways, x6 does have first ban, first pick. They like to ban Chronos first. Obviously, you know, one of the greatest carries in the game. Chronosphere, you know, a huge 3, 4, or 5 second disable. A blink that's an escape mechanism, but now since the update they also added damage to it, like he needed that. And of course backtrack, which negates basically 25% of the damage you take through this healing stuff. Don't worry about it. Anyway, the next ban, Ophelia from Legion side from T7H, they do not like playing against an Ophelia, and I don't think anybody really does. A solid Ophelia, you know, sits in jungle, gets gold that way, so you're getting 2 souls, and on top of it, one of your souls gets babysat, not just by the Ophelia, but by 1 or 2 other massive creeps that are just as strong as a hero up to level 4 or 5. So Ophelia getting banned for that reason. Zephyr, great power farmer, really good carry, good, you know, little melee range AoE DPS via the tornadoes, and the ultimate is just monstrous now. On top of that, he has the movement disable, the gust, that basically you can start a gust of wind from anywhere and gust them.
Oh my gosh, these wards got me.
In any direction you
want.
want.
You're dumb for staying in there.
Yeah, I know.
That might be a misclick. Obviously, Legionnaire, in my opinion, is a great hero in a lot of situations. I mean, even joking about it right here, strategic genius with that axe ban. Obviously, you know, I don't know exactly if it was a misclick or if there was meaning behind it. We'll find out based on the picks. Axe, of course, good at stopping like a summons type push because all the extra ads that hit him, he's just going to spin more often. Of course, Sexy joking about he was going to run Loda in top lane. I actually think the Melks, MYM Melk, is who he means. I apologize, guys. I didn't get too much of a chance to finish the discussion of the bans. They took out Slither, which is a x6 favorite. They like to run Slither Behemoth a lot. And of course the slow, the stun, and the wards behind. It's great, you know, the fissure, if you don't lock them off, you can at least add a bit more time of disable by putting the wards from Slither behind them. So anyways, and then Hellbringer, of course, the ban for the Malphus and the Life Void, or yeah, I believe it's called Life Void, and then the huge dot of damage, and you know, obviously he's a good anti-carry in the fact that he slows your attack speed by 60%, single target for 6 seconds, and your move speed by 60%. But nevertheless, let's go into the picks. Chu first picking Blacksmith. Blacksmith, of course, having the stun, the slow, and his ultimate, which allows his stun to multicast, meaning his stun will hit anywhere from 2 to 4 times. His slow reduces magic armor at all levels, but the higher his ultimate gets, the more AoE that the slow has. And then, of course, his Bloodlust at the end allows your carry to attack a lot faster and move a little bit faster. Alright, next we have the Demented Shaman and Plague Rider pick from Amingo and Nonvidius for T7H. Demented Shaman, a great babysitter, going to be paired with the Pestilence pick, which was 3rd for T7H, most likely going to be paired with him. And then, of course, Plague Rider, great nuker, has great mana regen with his 2nd skill. You know, just throwing out those 300 damage nukes over and over and over. And on top of that, in the team fight, his ultimate dropping some serious damage. Good babysitter, not the greatest in my opinion, but definitely not a bad one, and definitely a good, you know, mid-game aggressive, just I always have mana, you're always getting nuked and slowed type character. Anyway, so it was Demented Shaman and Plague Rider. Then we have a Corrupted Disciple and a Magnus pick. Corrupted Disciple, of course, having a great stat gain, But on top of that, he has a nuke, which is a huge nuke. You usually farm with it, but obviously it can be used against heroes. Conduit, which steals damage and adds it to himself, which is unbelievable. I think he ends up adding like 140 damage to himself and taking it away from other people. And then his ultimate, of course, is basically having double damage. It does a minus armor buff, and on top of that, it does damage every tick. So it'll attack whatever's the lowest HP near him, meaning he has great chase down capabilities, especially if he goes phase boots. He's just going to be running things down. So then again, back to T7H, we had the Pestilence and Puppet Master pick. You have, of course, Puppet Master, the strings as a disable, the Puppet Show, I believe is what it's called, which Puppeteers, yeah, it's Puppet Show. Puppeteers hold a string. Puppet Show, meaning you attack the closest allied unit to you, preferably a hero, then a creep, and then whatever else. And then, of course, he's a great carry. You know, he's got a huge damage buff as his third skill, and his ult is a single target magic damage kind of pseudo spell, as you'll see. Next, we see Soul Stealer being picked and Pyromancer being picked. I actually don't know how the lanes are going to run here. We may see some form of a roaming Pyromancer or Magmus, because I would assume Disciple is going to solo, although I have seen Disciple Magmus lanes. Pyromancer and Blacksmith most likely going together, and then Soul Stealer, of course, soloing mid. Then the final pick, Behemoth for Non-Vidius. Probably going to go Plague Behemoth. That'll be either top or bottom. Demented Shaman Pestilence, top or bottom, then Puppet Master solo mid. Nonetheless, Behemoth, bunch of AoE stuns, AoE nukes, just huge teamfight capabilities once it gets Portal Key. And the Pyromancer pick and the Soul Stealer pick, Soul Stealer, of course, being on Chu. If I need to explain what Soul Stealer Chu does to you, you obviously need to watch more VODs. 900 damage nuke overall. He has 3 different nukes of 300 at 3 different ranges. An ultimate that is huge in the form of an AoE slow and damage. And he negates armor, and then he gets plus 60 damage based on how many creep kills or hero kills he has. So just a lot of physical damage, a lot of burst damage. His main, of course, weakness is going to be the fact that he's very squishy. And I'm actually going to change my lanes for Legion side on how they're going to play against the Soul Stealer here in 2 seconds. But Pyromancer coming in, great stun, little AoE stun, great AoE nuke, and then of course the single target. I don't like you, so I'm going to do retarded amounts of damage to your face ultimate. So overall, good burst damage coming from Check 6. With a Disciple, going to probably be the carry. And then from Legion side, basically T7H, same thing. It'll be interesting to see. You know, you have the Puppet and the Pestilence carry, and then that's on Legion side. And then you have, of course, Soul Stealer, Corrupted Disciple carries on Hellborn side, with some good support all around. I mean, I think picks are relatively even. If anything, I'm going to give a slight advantage to Check 6. Sorry, my homeboy Non-Vidius, I love you to death, but I feel Demented Shaman in this case. Obviously, he's never a bad pick, but he's going to get ganked a lot. Same with Plague. I feel as though their babysitters are going to get run over, but we'll see how it plays out. I mean, obviously, one good kill early can determine your lane control, at which point, you know, if you lose lane control, you're in a heap of trouble against the Demented Shaman. A vote to pause the game, potentially lag issues, or someone might be AFK. No, looks like no one's AFK. Probably getting reconnect here. Demented Shaman, I believe, picked up Chicken, and I want to say Plague's going to have wards. Yep, and it does look like it's going to be Plague Behemoth top. Quick little note on Plague and Behemoth. If Behemoth blinks in and ults and does damage based on all the enemy creeps and all these little enemies near him, and it'll clear all the creep waves. After that, and then it'll also stun, plus then he has Fissure on top of that. After that, Plague can ult in, and it's just going to hit heroes. So, really an interesting combo. We'll see how that comes into the mid-game. But, you know, Plague, I know a lot of people are huge fans of him. I'm personally not. Definitely coupled with a Behemoth, though, that can clear all those creeps out.